Okay, so let's say you're trying to manifest money. Okay, you notice that life is difficult financially. It seems like even getting a raise at work is like asking to win the lottery, right? I mean, whether it's money, whether it's specific persons, whether it's love, whether it's anything in life, we've all experienced a time where we really want something, but it seems we keep hitting a brick wall, right? Will you ever wonder why that is? Okay, it's not a coincidence. A lot of people say, oh, I'm just unlucky. Okay, but it's because of a little thing called assumptions. Okay, now how do assumptions work? Well, for one, if you notice that you keep hitting a brick wall with money, and I just use that as an example because I've been talking about SPs like 90% of the time. You guys are probably like, oh, we got to try something new. Everything's the same, guys. SPs, money, etc. But if you are hitting a brick wall, for example, with money or specific people in your love life, in your finances, you want to go back and ask yourself, okay, well, about that specific thing, what was my assumptions going into this? Okay? What was my pregame ritual before I started being broke, before I got broken up? What was the mindset, the inner dialogue going on in my head before I started noticing I kept getting ghosted by women, right? Speaking of which, I experienced that. I remember I went through a drought where throughout my mid 20s, I had a lot of success with women, right? And of course, just like anybody, I experienced breakups, I experienced rejection. But it was very clear to me since high school that no matter where I'm at, whether I'm at work, whether I'm at school, whether I am hidden under the Himalayan rocks, if there's females there, it's going to be on, right? So I knew I could attract women. But it was almost like closing the deal, right? It was kind of like the salesman who he had good products, but could he close the deal, right? And so I noticed a significant decrease one specific year, which was around the time that I developed self-pedestalizations, which, by the way, are my version of affirmations where they're so fucking crazy that all you got to do is say them once and they destroy robotic affirmations out of the water. They are the gates to the state. You say them and you instantly get into the state. I can send you customized daily affirmations. Links are down below. Okay? But that's around the time that I invented them. And the reason why I invented them was because I was so down bad, as they call it, right? Where it was clear to me that it was a state change, right? It was around the time that I just really started studying law of assumption. And it was very obvious because, like I said, I wasn't perfect, okay? I wasn't going 10 for 10 from the free throw line, but, you know, I remember I used to have like 5 babes at once one time at work. And then it got to the point where that all backfired on me after years of success doing that. And they all end up spreading rumors about me. And I think it was like maybe one day I was like, you know, what would happen if one of them found out? And sure enough, one of them found out, and it was like it was like a virus that spread. You know, not literally, but like a wildfire of rumors. And next thing you know, I couldn't keep a girl in my rotation because all of a sudden I'm the guy who gets exposed, right? Which they had nothing to expose me. They just were all jealous, right? So point being, I did this before in the past. I had rotations of women before, regardless of whether they were all in the same location. But the one time that I started to become aware, just like when Adam and Eve, right, became aware that they were naked, all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we need to put on clothes. Oh shit, I have the sweat from my brow. Now to the dust you must return, right? right? So instead of it being paradise, holy shit, I got to go to work tomorrow, right? Instead of it being I can have all the women in the workplace, it's like, holy shit, I can't do that. I'm back. I'm coming back down to earth from my high horse. Actually, I have to be like everybody else. I got to be like these humans who, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to get caught, right? Which, by the way, I'm not necessarily promoting workplace relationships, but you know, your boy Neo is the only one who could get rid of it. Okay? My boy Blinks, by the way, my business partner, just commented, it's about fucking time. Jesus Christ. He's so fucking busy. This is the first time he's commented on the channel in ages. My man is doing the Lord's work. Keep hustling, my friend. God bless you, Blinky. But either ways, I had that drought going, and it was just because I just became aware of the possibility that what if I get caught? Can I really have this rotation of women? But it's so strange. I'd never thought that before. And that is all it takes sometimes, is for you to have that assumption, like there's a possibility that I could get exposed. There's a possibility that I can lose my cool and lose the trust of all these women and ruin my chances to basically be able to dip my chip wherever I please. Right. And again, this is just an extreme example of my womanizer ways of the past. But the same thing goes with money. The same thing goes when you have a specific person that you're trying to manifest. Okay? All it will take is one little glance at the fact that they were online on WhatsApp an hour after they said they were going to bed, and it's just like, holy shit, they're cheating on me. And for all you know, it could be a fucking glitch in the app, some sort of Wi-Fi error. And like I said, even when you do math in your head, it's an imaginal act. Just by you saying that, you are doing a sat session of them fucking the living brains out of somebody else, and therefore they might have been the most innocent, holy person on the soil of planet Earth, but you just made them a cheater. And get this, they don't even have to cheat, but because you step into the reality where they don't want you anymore just because of a possible error on WhatsApp, you step into the reality where, I mean, if it has to be that their mother gets kidnapped by Syrians and now they have to go to Syria for years to try to negotiate for her release, that will happen in order for the story that you've been telling yourself that they don't want you anymore to come true, right? Check your assumptions, okay? So I use all those extreme examples, one a personal, one an exaggerating of a Syrian capture of your SP's mother, to tell you that you can reverse engineer and check where your assumptions were. And before someone's like, well, I don't really remember, you fucking remember, okay? And if you don't remember, well, then God only knows what was going on in there. But let's say you actually can't really pinpoint where your assumptions were before you started noticing that your SP wasn't choosing you, or in general, these patterns started happening in relationships, right? You can still know the overall baseline self-awareness, self-concept that you have of yourself. Basically what many self-improvement gurus call the self-esteem. Okay? How did you esteem yourself? How did you see yourself? Okay? If you were not telling yourself stuff like Zeus worships me, everybody has a life-size poster of me on their wall that they pray and bow down to every single night. If you were not talking about yourself like that, that Aphrodite, you know, sucks your dick and Adonis eats your pussy or whatever, ladies or gentlemen, whoever's watching this. Look, I'm not saying you have to go above and beyond like that, but that's kind of like what the self-pedestalizations do. However, if you were not boosting yourself up, regardless of what the 3D was showing you, and not looking for external validation, but your internal validation, then guess what? There's a good chance that even if you were just going like this all the time, if that was your way of saying, oh, I'm lonely, guess what? You will have to be shown that you're lonely. Okay? So reverse engineer. where were your assumptions? And I feel like I didn't even get into the meat and bones of this video. But I'm posting daily, so, you know, I'm going to make like 50 million more of these, okay? So if you want to work with me, guys, and really get to the bottom of this, I guarantee I can find your blocks. And I guarantee I can actually show you why things are taking so long and how to really manage that 3D whenever it's triggering you, okay? So book a call with me, guys. What the hell are you waiting for? I am Neil Arthos, and join the membership channel, please, for heaven's sakes, okay? And if you don't know what's so good about it, just read the posts. I love you guys. Take care.